Hello and welcome to another episode of Inferno Sports Talk. My guest today is my first coach of 2018, Ryan Schalk, head softball coach. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Well. You've seen this before. You know how this works. First of all, we'll go through rapid fire questions. So you know how this works. We give you a minute to answer as many questions as possible. So are you ready?
Yeah, sounds good.
What is your favorite color?
Blue.
What is your favorite food?
Steak.
What is heavier, a pound of stone or a pound of cotton?
They got to be the same.
Who is your favorite athlete?
Oh, I'd have to go Miguel Cabrera.
Your favorite team?
The Detroit Tigers.
How many letters are in the English alphabet?
Oh boy, that's a good one. Was it 26?
What state did the Boston Tea Party take place in?
That'd be Massachusetts.
Your favorite class, college or high school?
Probably a sports psychology class I took at Grand Valley.
Your favorite Olympic sport to watch? It could be winter or summer.
It's going to be softball now that it's back.
How do you spell the word top?
Oh, THEWORD-TOP.
Say the word top 3 times.
Top.
Say the word top 4 times fast.
Oh, the word top 4 times fast. You might have got me on the first one. Dang it.
So what do you do at a green light then?
You go.
How many terms did Benjamin Franklin serve as president? 1 or 2?
I'm going to go with 2.
What is the capital of Wisconsin?
That is Madison.
Favorite Netflix or Hulu show?
Netflix or Hulu? I guess I'll go with... Oh boy, no, I can't think of what it was. Shameless.
Favorite time of year?
Spring.
American football or European football?
American.
You did pretty well. Benjamin Franklin never served as president.
Yeah, I thought that might be a trick question too. I'm not. My history is not my strong point.
You did pretty well though. You got most of them. You got English alphabet. There's 26 in the English alphabet, so good job on that one. Massachusetts is another one that kind of slips up people because they think Boston. They think, oh, Boston's a state.
Right.
So then they say Boston automatically without thinking.
That was my first thought, actually.
Yes, but you did well. Now, you and I actually started pretty much at the same time. I think you were like a week before me or like a week after.
Yeah.
Or somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
I think about a week before.
Yeah. So just tell me what drew you to Alverno and how did you get here in the first place?
Yeah. First of all, this is it's my 10th year coaching at the college level. I've been at Muskegon Community College in Michigan and then Grand Valley State University, also in Michigan. So I've kind of lived there, born and raised my entire life. When I came on the interview here at Alverno, I guess what immediately drew me to it was just the small community kind of family atmosphere. You walk around, everybody knows who you are all the time. All of our offices here are all together, and there's constantly student athletes, whether we want them to be sometimes or not, in the office hanging out, just talking about how their day is going,
right? Yes.
How things are going. So for me, that's I'm from a fairly small area, small high school. Family was big for us. Our whole family, for the most part, lived within 20, 30 minutes of each other. Still does, growing up. So that was probably the biggest factor for me. Was just the small school family type of feel.
Now, you kind of touched on your background. You were from Muskegon, born and raised, and stuff like that. But is there any similarities between living here and living in Michigan? I know the winters are kind of similar, but you were telling me, during Christmas break, you guys got several inches of snow, and we didn't get any.
Yeah. A lot of it feels the same. Obviously, where we're at here is good. We're just outside the city, so we can be downtown if we need to. The weather's similar. I think the trade-off here is it's colder on this side of the lake, but we get more snow on the other side because we're right across Lake Michigan. The ferry actually goes, from Milwaukee to Muskegon.
Right.
So yeah, in December I was home for break. I think it was 50 or 60 inches of snow we got.
Gosh.
Yeah, we get the lake effect. The snow just kind of hangs out right there, and I think it just felt like every day it just snowed and snowed and snowed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as far as everything else is fairly similar. similar culture, similar ideas. I think over here, everybody I've run into is pretty nice. And not that they're not in Michigan, but I think that's the one thing that sticks out so far about Milwaukee is just in general. There's just a lot of really, really nice people, a lot of good people. So
now school starts next week. That kind of draws you closer to getting prepared for softball season. What steps are you taking as a coaching staff to get ready for the upcoming season, whether it's preparation, looking at different things, or just getting practice kind of schedules together, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I've been ready to go since we got out in the fall. Kind of ready to get into it. Scheduling, obviously, with the weather, we're inside. We actually will do classroom sessions for a couple hours a week, which for me is probably one of the most important things that we do. We're going over the mental game, our philosophies on offense and defense, talking about roles, talking about goals, just kind of getting ready to go. And then, we go at it pretty hard until we leave in February 23rd for our spring trip. We practice, fly down February 23rd, practice that same day, and we start playing the next day. We got 10 games down there with a couple of off days, which will be nice. Do a little team bonding, probably more for me than the girls, being new. Trying to get to know them, our assistants, just learn a little bit more about them, have some fun, hopefully play hard, win some games. But overall, our spring trip is kind of like the first third of our season. So we'll take that, we'll come back, kind of reassess where we're at, what we need to work on, and then go from there, getting into kind of our non-conference games, which I consider kind of that second third, and then the last third being our conference schedule.
Right.
That's when we want to be the best, is by the time, middle to the end of that, and hopefully make a push towards, playing in the conference tournament this year.
And you host the tournament, so that's always a kind of a draw to
Yeah, you would think I would think that would be motivation. I know it is for me.
Right.
You hate to be here and have the tournament here and not be a part of it. So we'll see. We'll see how the girls take that, and we'll have some challenges, but we're getting ready to get to work here. Actually, Monday we start January 22nd. Okay. So start to focus, like I said, on the mental part, skill development, and then also a lot of live work. Live pitching and catching inside. Starting to see that live pitching. So our pitchers get ready to go, and our hitters can start to work on developing a plan, having a routine, having a good approach. That's the biggest part of the game.
Now, are there any restrictions your first week of practice? I know basketball used to have you couldn't practice with a ball for the first couple of days. Are there any restrictions that you have to kind of abide by that first couple of weeks of practice? I don't think specifically. There's not, that kind of way. You think of like the old school basketball approach that way. But basically, that first week, what we try to do is really break down the fundamentals. And part of that is making sure, not assuming that everybody's where they need to be, but making sure that we retouch on that. And also, conditioning is a big thing the first week to see if they did what they were supposed to do in the off season and come back in shape. We got weight training, 3 times a week to get that going. We'll do some speed and agility a couple times a week. And other than that, our practices really are kind of broken down a few different ways. We'll do hitting specific 1 day a week where we get groups of 3 or 4 to come in so we can really start to break down the swing and work on the fundamentals. Like I said, we do a classroom session 1 day a week. That's our practice for that day. A couple days we do split, what we call kind of split squads or split groups, where we'll break down outfield fundamentals on the floor for an hour, switch, have infield come down, and then 2-3 days a week we'll start to go live and work situations, bunt coverages, first and thirds, things like that. Right. Well, Ryan, I thank you for joining me on today's Inferno Sports Talk.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That'll do it for this episode of Inferno Sports Talk. My name is Sam, your host. I'd like to thank my guests for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and also follow us online at athletics.alverno.edu. If you would like to hear more of our podcast, be sure to click the subscribe button on our YouTube page to get up-to-date information about podcasts and also highlights and post-game interviews. Again, my name is Sam, your host, and we'll see you next time.